Turning now to an I-team investigation. Living next to a salt shed has poisoned the water. That's what several residents in one small town are claiming, and the state seems to acknowledge there is a problem.
But after a year of the temporary solution, residents say they have not gotten a permanent one, and they're turning now to the I-team's Matthew Campbell to try and get some results. Matthew is joining us live right now with more details on the situation out there. Matthew, good evening.
Well, Mark and Aaron, the sodium and chloride levels are much higher than they should be in this water, and it's starting to affect nearly every aspect of the lives of the homeowners you're about to meet.
Woodstock has always had a special place in Monique Maldonado's heart.
My parents used to bring us to Woodstock all the time when we were younger.
So when the opportunity arose 10 years ago to call Woodstock home, she jumped on it and moved her husband and son into this home on Route 198. It happens to be across the street from this salt storage facility. During the course of the home buying process, the water was tested.
Everything was fine except for the iron was a little high. We figured we could live with that.
But then things progressively got worse. The Maldonados would soon need a new water heater.
After 2 years of being here, we thought it was just, because it was worn out.
But then there were more signs of trouble.
Our cat's getting sick and dying. The garden would be absolutely beautiful, big plants, and then as soon as we would water them, the next day they'd all be dead. If you pour yourself a cup of coffee the next day, the whole rim tastes like just pure salt. The dry skin and then the rashes, and it just kept getting progressively worse over the past 2 years.
It's gotten to the point where the Maldonados have replaced their water heater every 2 years because they look like this.
Can you imagine what we could have spent that money on instead?
The family isn't alone. Another family, the Regises, live directly south of the shed and are experiencing the same things.
It all comes to this side and then goes down the hill.
These are pipes from the Regis home.
My furnace, completely corroded. All the pipes on it, every valve. You can't turn anything. If I do, I have to call a plumber.
The families went to the state looking for help. What they got was this: monthly reports from a contractor sent by Environmental Protection. They test the water each month, and all it does is confirm there's a problem. We did our own test and sent it to Complete Environmental Testing Labs in Stratford. We took the results back to the families. The levels for the Maldonados were off the charts. The state-approved limit for chloride is 250. The Maldonados check in at 1,300. The Regis's report shows 450. For sodium, the state limit is 100. The sodium in the Maldonados water is 390. The Regis family, 120.
It's very consistent with what we've been getting over the past year, so it doesn't surprise me at all.
The whole house is ruined over it, and I just believe that's ridiculously high.
Simply put, the water can't be ingested, so this is what the state has done. They've been delivering 12 of these 5-gallon jugs every month to the Maldonado home. Nothing for the Regis family. The Maldonado family shares it with their neighbors, and they use it to cook and drink, but they can't bathe with it.
The water burns your face and it burns your eyes and gives you rashes and skin conditions.
For a year, they've been pleading for a permanent solution and just haven't found it, all while their pipes continue to rot away.
That was promised to us in June that something would happen in July.
It's now November. We went to the state looking for answers, and they readily say they'll take the blame.
It's, all but a yes. It's coming from our facility at this point. The question is exactly how, and once we figure out how it's doing that, then we can make remedies for these homeowners, which we intend to do.
So this is a story that is not going away. In fact, we're going to revisit it tomorrow when we're going to ask the state what the permanent solution could be and why it took so long to get it. Now, you also saw what it did to the family's copper pipes. It absolutely corroded them, and while they're not ingesting or drinking this water, they still have to bathe in it. Their skin touches it, and there could be some health concerns there as well. We're going to get into all of that tomorrow, but for now, for the I-Team, Matthew Campbell, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Just unbelievably awful, really, and much more to come on this, of course. Matthew, thank you. If you'd have a story that you want the I-Team to look into, you can call our tip line at the number right there on your screen.
That number right there is how we get a lot of great story ideas. You can let us know about potential stories as well anytime in the Channel 3 app.